March is kind of boring.
I mean, it's no February.
Hello and welcome to Rekt Podcast. I am your host, Bunchu, alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host, Crypto Chamber. Chamber, how are you on this fine morning?
I am not well on this fine morning. The house is completely contaminated with coronavirus. We have weeks, if not months, to live. Yeah, no, I've been up... what is it? It's in fact 8 a.m. on Monday morning. I've been up since, I want to say, at least 2:30 this morning.
Woof.
Yeah, gross. My daughter's been sick with...
So does this mean she's not going to school today?
Not a school day today. Yeah. She was floating it out there last night. I mean, she may have willed it into existence. She was floating out the idea of not going to school today. Perfectly healthy yesterday, and then literally in the middle of the night, just like burning up. Like, I don't know. I'm like, how did she mentally? Like,
do you think she faked it?
She was on fire. Like, it was like, I'm like, I just touched her forehead. I mean, like, holy shit! Like, this is it's serious.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully not Canada's confirmed case of corona.
No, I feel like this is probably more like, just willed it into existence. Like, she just willed her body to get a fever.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if I had like a superpower.
Yeah. Right?
That'd be a pretty good one to have as a kid. You know what I mean?
Like, if you're
a kid, what was better than not having to go to school? You would sit on the couch all day and watch like Price is Right, Supermarket Sweep, and all Family Feud, all that shit. And so I think as a kid, that would be one of the best superpowers you could possibly have.
And I mean, honestly, like, it's not even just that. It's like everybody's nicer to you. Get, like, the food, the quality of food you get is significantly better. And now, I mean, nowadays, I mean, she's sleeping in my bed now. Full Tempur-Pedic mattress and pillow with adjustable base. Like, I mean, she is with her iPad. I mean, she's living it up right now.
That's what I'm saying. Can you think of? I mean, there's only a couple better superpowers if you were
as a child. 100%. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as good as an adult because you still have all the responsibilities, right?
Right.
Like,
no, being sick.
It's probably one of the worst superpowers you could have as an adult.
Very contrasting superpowers, depending on your age. So yes, she's definitely taking full advantage of this superpower.
Interesting. So Chambers dealing with his house is a quarantined sick house now. Yeah. What do they do for that? Just like pour maple syrup all over? Or what?
Yeah, you're fine. You just kind of like smear it in the grooves of the door hinges to make sure the virus doesn't escape, and then hardens. Usually takes.
You
about
make
an
a
hour
sign
or
of the
so.
cross on her forehead with some maple syrup.
It was Maple Syrup Wednesday the other day, so we're good.
Oh, jeez. That's really funny. We are laughing here on a Monday morning, bringing you the hard-hitting, semi-crypto content that you've been craving, people.
Right? I feel like our last couple episodes we've been better with the crypto. I feel like we've been bringing a touch more crypto, but that might just be in my head.
Rekt Podcast. It's a free podcast.
It's a free podcast.
All right. Let's get into it. So you have a real life re-Rekt? Is that what we're calling this?
Yeah, so over the weekend, had a great weekend, by the way. I think I was complaining about my birthday weekend a couple episodes ago. Totally made up for it this weekend. It was exactly the birthday weekend I wanted. It was just a relaxed, chill, family weekend. But the crown jewel of the weekend is we booked a family holiday for the summer. And my wife and I.
Oh my God! Are you going back to Dead Body Beach?
We are going back to Dead Man's Cove.
Oh my God! Oh, that's all you needed to say, and it just clicked. It just clicked. Oh my God! Dead Body Beach.
Yeah. So, so we were looking on. We were talking about.
I mean, please explain what this is for any new listeners of the podcast. I mean, this was one of the first stories we shared ever on the show. So, like,
exactly,
you need to go back and explore this.
So, Dead Man's Beach, aka Dead Man's Cove, is a beach house that my family and I rented. I want to say probably 3 or 4 years ago. I guess maybe 3 years ago. And it was this beautiful, beach house, not too far away from where I live. Private beach, great time. And about halfway through our week there, so we were staying there for a week, I was taking an afternoon nap, and it was a beautiful, probably 90-degree day, and my wife wakes me up, jostles me out of my slumber, and she's white as a ghost, and she's like shit's going on outside, and for the last half hour or so, apparently there's been kind of a commotion happening in the water, not too far, maybe 100 feet from our beach. And, we slowly start to find out that there was a boat with some kids and a father. I don't know exactly what they were doing, but they're out in a boat. Apparently the father had fallen out and had fallen into the water, and the kids were trying to bring him back up. They couldn't find him. Minutes go by, 10, 12, 15, and all of a sudden it's just like, oh, okay, apparently this is not a survival mission anymore. It's a mission to find a body. For half hour goes by, 45 minutes goes by, and the coast, I don't know if we'll call it the Coast Guard, but the police, police boats, ambulance boats are out there, kind of just touring back and forth in front of my cottage, and I'm out there, and I'm kind of wanting to help out, and the cops are kind of pushing me off, just say stay on the beach, and then as soon as I kind of make first communication with the cops, all of a sudden this body just washes up on my beach. And yeah, unfortunately, obviously, and the weird thing was the guy kind of looked like me. That was probably the weirdest thing. So this speaks volumes to how great this place was, that probably one of the most traumatic experiences of our lives occurred there. And the opportunity came up. We were on what's the app? The Airbnb, and we were looking at some places, and it had showed up, and I said, "You want to go back?" She's like, "Yeah, I kind of do." So it was so great that we booked it again for the same week. It'll be, I guess 3 years later, 4 years later, whatever it is, it'll be on the anniversary of whenever it happened. So maybe some spooky ghost stories will occur, but I'm not sure. But yeah, we booked it. We're excited. Everybody's excited to go again. Obviously, my daughter doesn't know about this story because she definitely wouldn't want to go. And then we have a new kid bringing we're bringing with us, so it'll be fun.
Wow.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But I was gonna say,
I can't believe you're going back to Dead Man's Cove.
That's how awesome it was. Even a
Dead Man's Cove, hashtag Dead Body Beach. Those are the hashtags to start us off on a Monday morning.
Yeah. So I thought you would enjoy that because yes, it was probably. I want to say it was for sure my first real life Rekt.
It definitely was. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It
which snowballed into every single person talking about an experience with a dead body.
Yes, it really did.
It came on the show.
Because I'm trying to think, we started in June
of
July,
2018.
And I already had the story, right? So this would have been August of 2017.
Wow.
Right?
Oh, so it was pretty recent. All right.
Yeah. So what is that? It'd be 3 years ago. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't that summer.
God, we're almost coming up on 2 years.
Isn't that crazy?
It's stupid, really.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are we doing?
I have no idea.
Oh, man. I don't know. Sometimes, Chamber, I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, all right. So Dead Body Beach back in play. We've got another story, but we'll get to that when we hit the news, right?
Right. How was your weekend? I want to know. You know how mine was. How was yours? Was yours okay?
Mine was pretty, uneventful. Friday night just hung at home. Saturday, we went to my parents' house, spent the day there. And then yesterday, I had my, I guess, cousin. He's my cousin's son. So what would that be?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I think that's your uncle.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. So I had my uncle's christening / baptism yesterday. So we did that, and
Did he get maple syrup Wednesday?
Yes, maple syrup. They actually they just dunked him right into the maple syrup.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
Yes.
Nice.
He's such a sweet, sweet boy now.
That's what God loves.
That's what he loves.
He wants a lot of sugar up in heaven.
Yes, and I was the proxy godfather. My brother is the godfather, but he unfortunately couldn't make it. So
okay, I have a hot take here. I mean, if you can't make it,
yes,
I feel the title should be stripped.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's due to medical reasons. So you got to give him the pass there.
Okay, but, all right. I'll let you be the judge on this one.
It's not like he's like, oh, I got another event. Like,
right.
So,
I got spring training to watch.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It wasn't like that. So I'm actually like the de facto godfather in my family. I'm three deep in godchildren at this point. Yeah. So
I am.
There's a reason they call me Don Bunchu.
I mean, that's a good point. I have yet to be asked to be a godfather. I think rightfully so. I don't think you should be. I don't think I should be godfathering any children, to be honest. No, I'm not the person for that.
Well, it's just I don't know. I feel like these days it's more of a title than anything.
Oh, exactly. No, I think you hold yourself in a way that you should be given such a title. I don't know if I do.
Yes, so I had to, get up there, do the duties of the godfather, and so actually this was pretty funny. So my uncle, he's a very large baby, very, very large. He's 5 months old. Get this, he's 5 months old, and he weighs 23 pounds.
Holy shit!
That is a monster baby, right?
I'm gonna weigh my 2-year-old later today.
Oh yeah, my brother's kid, my nephew, he's almost 2, and he weighs 4 pounds more than this kid.
Right. Yeah.
So we're up there at the altar, and the priest is coming around, and he's doing the thing where he puts the maple syrup on the forehead and on the hands,
Right.
And he's like this Colombian guy, and he just looks at him. He just goes, "Gordo."
What's gordo mean in Spanish?
Fat. Fat.
That's a big baby.
Fat. He just goes, fat. He just says gordo, and I'm like dying laughing. Like my mom had a video, and I just start cracking up. And I was like, Father, I think you mean guapo, which means handsome. Oh. And he's like, he could be both.
Uncle Gordo.
The priest just out here fat shaming a baby on his christening.
Well, everybody in Colombia is like smoking hot, aren't they? Like, it's.
Oh well, this priest, he's a priest. I don't know if he's one to be judging on anybody's hotness.
Right. And Uncle Gordo is another hashtag for today, by the way.
Oh, jeez. So yeah, he's fat shaming a baby on his holiest of days, on the day he gets to be without sin.
Unreal.
Anyway, so that was my weekend.
Father Esteban, you really gotta look at yourself in the mirror, I think.
First of all, I thought he was talking to me. And I'm like, you ain't wrong.
I'm just a proxy.
Yeah, that's what I said. That my dad or whatever, or somebody said, oh, great job being the proxy up there. I'm like, I was just really a fat body double, but whatever. So anyway, that's the weekend. Let's get into the news. All right, start us off, Chambers. Start us off with the one that'll lead you into the other story.
Okay, perfect. This is from the block Crypto.
Do we even have to say it anymore? All our fucking news stories are from the block Crypto, mostly Crypto because we're lazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's the smallest article we can read. I think that's what it really comes down to.
Yes.
If you want a small article to read, just go to the block Crypto. It's perfect. That's your commercial right there. Tron's 2020 summit for the next week has been postponed indefinitely due to guess. I wonder why. To the coronavirus. That's why. Tron's native summit, Nitron, has been delayed indefinitely due to coronavirus. The event was scheduled to take place between February 29th and March 1st in Seoul, South Korea. A notice on Nitron's website now reads that the new dates will be decided based on the ongoing situation of the epidemic. Nitron is offering refunds to those who purchase tickets, along with a few other options. These include a free upgrade to VIP for ordinary ticket holders, one additional VIP ticket for VIP ticket holders, and one extra ticket for those who will purchase tickets up until April 1st. So if you're purchasing tickets between now and April 1st, you can get an additional ticket. The event is considered significant for the Tron community. Last year, it saw over 2,000 attendees, according to the information from Nitron's website. Late basketball legend, oh my goodness, legend Kobe Bryant.
Oh no! I did not know what.
Not now, Nitron. Not now. Late basketball legend Kobe Bryant was one of the speakers at last year's event. Coronavirus has caused several crypto events to be postponed, including Binance Blockchain Week in Vietnam and Token 2049, among others. So yeah, coronavirus really working its way through the community of blockchain, of blockchain events. I would imagine, I think May is when we have consensus. That's not too far away. I could see that being maybe postponed too. What are your thoughts there?
Oh, say what?
I was gonna say, because I think consensus is coming up in May.
So check this out. I was reading so I'm supposed to go every year. We do a March Madness trip, and right. I was supposed to go this year. We're actually doing Albany, New York, because they're actually having a round of games there. So we were going to go, to the games, and because I've always wanted to go. And
have you never been to a March Madness game?
No, so we typically go to like Vegas or something and just watch all the games and bet on them there. But I've never gone to actually the event, right? So, but we're trying to look for tickets now and all this stuff, and all this stuff is coming out about how they may consider playing the games without an audience because of coronavirus.
Wow!
Right? Imagine what that would be like.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
No, that's that I can't imagine. I can't imagine they do that, but maybe
I can't either. But
we'll see. But that leads us to the weirdness that happened on the weekend.
Another, I guess, real life Rekt.
I guess so. Because
all right, so here's
you want to set it up,
and it has to do with coronavirus, which is why we're bringing it up now. So I've been just scouring Twitter more and more for coronavirus stuff because I don't know why, but I think it's kind of fascinating. And then, you ultimately come into the conspiracy theory people on Twitter, and those are kind of my favorite. I love just going down the rabbit hole and seeing what people are talking about. And so I found a couple this weekend that I think you would enjoy, but one of them specifically, I sent you a tweet of yesterday, and it's I don't know who this person is or what they do.
Dean Koontz.
No, but the person who tweeted it. Yeah.
Oh, Feisty Aiken?
Yeah, Feisty Aiken, yeah.
I don't know who that is.
AK_Bob47. Global activist, Liverpool fan, true Nigerian, proud Muslim, uncommon idealist, medical student, and lazy typist. It is.
That is a lot of things.
Yep.
You are a lot of things to many.
Yep. So his tweet says, so I'm hearing about this book from 1981 that talks about coronavirus happening in 2020, made by one of the best horror authors of our time, Dean Koontz. It was called Wuhan 400, as it then meant to be a biological weapon of some sort. So then he posts pictures of this book where... in the book, it says they call the stuff Wuhan 400 because it was developed at their rDNA labs outside the city of Wuhan and was the 400th viable strain of man-made microorganisms created at the research center. And so this apparently comes from a book by Dean Koontz that was written in 1981 called The Eyes of Darkness. So I was like, oh, cool conspiracy theory. It's one of those Simpsons predicted it kind of things, which apparently they did that too.
100%.
You can talk about that in a moment. But so I sent that to you.
Yes, you did.
I sent you this tweet, and your mind was blown.
Mine was absolutely blown because on Friday, I was at the airport. And I'm strolling around waiting for my flight, and obviously very aware of coronavirus at the airport. I don't know if you've been to the airport lately. It looks like a hospital with all the face masks. But I'm strolling around, and I go into the kind of the bookstore, and as I'm one to do, I look at books, and I tend to buy books and then read whatever for an hour or two before my flight, and then never pick up that book again. And
you're probably it's probably more financially sound for you just to listen to podcasts.
It's way more financially sound to do that. So I pick up, no word of a lie, The Eyes of Darkness by Dean Koontz. I had never read it, and I'm just reading it, and I'm like, it's, I didn't pay much attention to it. I looked at it. I'm like, okay, Dean Koontz. And then I was looking at some Stephen King books. But I had picked it up in my hand and I looked at it. And then you send me this tweet. And I'm like, that is so weird. But then I started thinking, is it possible that the airport knows that it's a book?
Dude, now that's a conspiracy, bro.
No, I mean, not even conspiracy-wise. Like, oh, it's a book about, like viruses, so that's maybe a popular, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird that the airport would put it out like as
I just
as
love the thought of the airport that you're at. Like, all right, so we know that coronavirus is this Chinese biological weapon. It's been planned to be put out for a long time now. Now's our time. Let's put all the Dean Koontz books out.
Right, like
now's the time to strike.
It's from 81. Why is it in like the
I agree.
It wasn't like a huge bookstore. There was probably 30 books there, and this was one of them.
That's weird.
That is weird. That is a weird thing. I don't know.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So, are you on a scale of 1 to Rekt, the 5 Rekt scale? Wait, what are we calling it? The stranger scale. On the stranger scale, how concerned are you now versus when we first began talking about coronavirus?
Still not super worried. I would say a 3.
3 that's 60% on a stranger scale.
I mean, I've been traveling a lot, and I've been getting sick a lot.
My dad has been traveling every week, and he's sick, and I'm like,
right, so I'm a little worried about it. But I mean, once I start getting to 4 or 5, 4 strangers, that's to me that's a big number. Like, I would say, 2 to 3 strangers currently.
Okay,
is my word.
2.5 strangers, probably.
Yeah, maybe 2.5.
Okay. So you're the resident Simpsons guy. Did they predict this?
Well, I forget what it was, and I think we were starting to watch it. So my daughter and I, I got a funny story about this too. Obviously, my daughter and I have been talking about, we've been watching Simpsons a ton. I think we may be on this episode, but I think it's called the Panda virus on The Simpsons. And yeah, it starts off.
The guy sneezes in the box.
Yeah,
right?
Coughs and sneezes into a box, and you see all the microbes go in there, and they tape it up. And I think Milhouse gets the package first. I have to go back and double check, and he's the first one to catch the
everything's
the virus.
Coming up Milhouse.
Everything was coming up Milhouse. So he opens the package, it goes right into his face, and I think it's called the Panda virus. But I'll have to get back to you on that one. But yeah, it's definitely. I tweeted out a GIF of it yesterday where the Chinese factory workers are boxing something up, cough into the box, and tape it up, which I thought was apropos. It was Simpsons. I mean, I'm not a big...
Did the Simpsons... I just saw something, too, and this one's sensitive subject to you. Did the Simpsons predict Kobe?
I don't think so.
I just saw something literally in the comments of this tweet that we're talking about.
But that being said, as much of a Simpsons fan as I am, I kind of tailed off around season 25. So I haven't been as diligent, I'd say, between season 25 to 30, 31, wherever we're at now. So, I mean, there could be some stuff in there that I just haven't seen.
There's apparently a clip of this on literally in the comments, so I'm going to tag you in it.
All right.
You can tell me if this is accurate or not.
Because the other things, too, is like sometimes I think people make Simpsons clips that aren't authentic Simpsons episodes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just to make they predict everything.
Right, exactly. So right. I'm always hesitant with those. So I don't recall.
You don't have to watch it now. It's a long clip. But
fair enough. I'll report back.
Yeah, anyway. All right, so my turn for a news story?
Yes.
Let's go with a story about WXRP, the Standard. Ripple would not be profitable without selling XRP, says CEO Garlinghouse. This is from our lady, Yogita Khatri. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has indicated that XRP sales form a significant chunk of the company's profitability. Quote, "We would not be profitable or cash flow positive without selling XRP." Garlinghouse was quoted as saying in a Financial Times report published Friday. Another quote, "Well, XRP is one source. I don't know how to answer that because if you took away our software revenues, that would make us less profitable. If you took away all our XRP, that makes us less profitable. So I don't think about it as one thing," Garlinghouse added. Reacting to the report, the crypto trader analyst Luke Martin tweeted, that Ripple stays alive by dumping XRP on the public, which, what do you think about that?
Accurate?
Yeah, I would say so.
I feel like accurate is probably
yeah, I would say. Notably, Ripple's total sales of XRP declined by 80% in Q4. The sharp decline was a result of a drop in the direct institutional sales as well as a pause in Ripple's programmatic sales, i.e., XRP sales to cryptocurrency exchanges. I don't really need to go through the rest of this. That's kind of the big notes here.
We
Ripple
have to dump on people in order to be a solvent company.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's crazy.
That's bananas.
It also says here that Ripple is also incentivizing its client MoneyGram with XRP. They received $11.3 million in XRP from Ripple. Interesting. Really? So now MoneyGram is in on the dump scheme.
Jeez.
Dude, imagine, who would buy Ripple now? Why would you ever buy Ripple, first of all? But this is hey, we're dumping on you.
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's in order for us to survive, we need to dump on you.
So why would anybody do it?
I don't know.
Look, I get if you're trading it, everybody's going to have a setup where it looks like it's going to be a good trade, right?
Yeah.
So that's not what we're talking about here. I'm talking about buying and holding Ripple because you think it's the next Bitcoin, or you think it's going to $589 or whatever the hell it is.
Right.
No, don't.
If you think it's going to 500 and whatever dollars, I mean,
there's no helping you.
You're crazy.
There's no helping you. Rekt podcast is not the podcast for you if you think that's happening.
I was listening to one of our shows the other day, and you had we were talking about like FOMOing into coins, or I think no FOMOing in that particular case, and you're like, yeah, I think our listeners aren't FOMOers, or we don't perpetuate FOMO. And I'm like, yeah, we don't perpetuate FOMO, and good for us. I was really thinking about that the other day. Like,
I think we're probably the opposite of FOMO.
Right.
Quite honestly.
You know what? I'm very happy for us because, yeah, I think it's very easy. I mean, how many times do you see it across a lot of, whatever, YouTubers or maybe podcasters too? But yeah, it's, you know what? Yeah, we don't do that. And we just bring the funny and try to bring as much informative, hilarious stuff to you as possible without making you FOMO.
I mean, I haven't been around as long as, the OGs, but I've learned quite a few lessons in my time in crypto.
And this is only Bunchu's, and this is the only reason this is happening is because of Bunchu. Because if it was just me, we'd be FOMOing everything.
I was such a FOMOholic when I started out and it just it doesn't do you any good. It wrecks you. And not only it's fine if I wreck myself. I don't care about that, right? Like, if I wreck myself, it's my own damn fault. But I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and tell people to buy something and FOMO them into it and get them wrecked. You know what I mean?
You're 100%. And really the only time, very rarely, do we speak positive. Not I wouldn't say that. But the only time when we do speak about coins is typically when we're telling you not to buy them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't buy these ones. Yes. So yeah, I apologize. I was just thinking about that.
Well,
and
no, I mean, look, there are times where, so like the Rekt index, right? We were buying coins and we were taking people's advice, but even so, that's not this thing's going to go to $10. Like, you got to get in now. You know what I mean?
And there was kind of like a tongue-in-cheek aspect to it where, like, we're going to get wrecked anyways.
It's called the Rekt.
Right, exactly. And we were spending our own money on it, which was kind of funny.
Yes.
So, yeah, good for us is all I'm saying.
Yeah, let's pat ourselves on the back. All right. I got one more, and then you can finish with the fun one.
Okay.
Past Fed rate cuts suggest Bitcoin is not a safe haven asset. So Bitcoin's performance during the last 3 interest rate cuts suggests that it's not a safe haven asset, the block's research shows. In 2019, the Federal Reserve cut the interest rate 3 times, which currently sits at 175 basis points. During the 3 cuts, Bitcoin's price did not show any significant pickup, the research found. On the contrary, its median return across 1 week, 1 month, and 3 month were -5, -20, and -11% respectively. So this is basically saying that after Fed rate cuts, Bitcoin dumps. And it looks like it dumps pretty hard. Common thesis for Bitcoin as a safe haven asset is that during macro volatility, the Fed's action to step in and lower interest rates is a net positive on risk assets and non-inflationary assets such as gold or, in this case, Bitcoin. Therefore, as the market anticipates another Fed rate cut, some analysts believe that Bitcoin would see a rebound. However, the block's analysis suggests that rate cuts are not correlated to Bitcoin price movements. Hence, it's not likely to rise during the next rate cut. I just don't know if these things are as correlated as they would expect for something like Bitcoin versus gold, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Recent macro volatility is precipitated first by U.S. killing a major Iranian general, and the global spread of coronavirus has triggered a new round of discussion on whether Bitcoin has been accepted by investors as a safe haven asset. And then, based on that, we were at probably 10,000 when this stuff happened, right?
Yep.
And now we're in the 8,500s. So, everybody was saying, "Oh, this is good for Bitcoin. This is good for Bitcoin," and then the price dumped. So, I don't necessarily buy all of that crap anyway. What do you think?
I think we were due for corrections when we got to 10.5 or whatever we got to, and sometimes you need that event to cause the pullback. And I think you kind of need both.
Yeah, but everybody's saying that with these global crises that Bitcoin should rise. So why?
And I mean, we could still see it. I mean, it's still early days for coronavirus. You know what I mean? Like it's not even official. Is it officially a pandemic yet?
I don't think so.
Right. It's still early days, and I don't think we're going any lower than this for the time being. There's people talking about a bounce shortly to 9,500. So I'd be more interested to see what happens over the next...
Are those people Ledger?
Was it? I don't know. I think it was a tweet I saw. I'm gonna be
It
honest.
was Ledger. I literally just saw the tweet.
I was gonna say, I don't think I heard it on the podcast.
No, I literally just saw a tweet. Like I was scrolling through Twitter.
You're right. It was
8 hours ago. BTC looks ready for 9,500 move.
The guy knows what he's talking about a lot of the time. So
hey, shout out to Ledger. He's probably my favorite follow outside of you.
Josh and Brian. They do a good job. They seem to know what they're talking about. At least when it comes to that stuff more than we do.
They're so much smarter than we are.
Well, they're not as funny. They're funny, not as funny. And we're smart.
Shots fired.
We're smart, just not as smart. So I think it's a nice it's a nice complimentary assortment of podcasts.
I just play smart on TV.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think I'd be more interested to see what happens over the next few months, because let's be honest, the coronavirus is probably going to kick around at least till the summer. You know what I mean? Like once flu season's done here in the Western Hemisphere or whatever we are.
I just saw that somebody has it in New York City now.
Yeah. Was that the first death or the first case?
First case. First death was this weekend too in
Seattle?
Washington State.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think we're still early days with Corona. And we could be having a different conversation in a month from now, if Bitcoin cracks, whatever, 11K or whatever. So we'll see. I don't think the correlation is there is what I'm saying. I think Bitcoin's kind of do what it's going to do, and I don't necessarily think it has to do with what coronavirus is doing.
Correct.
That's my 2 cents.
All right, go to the last one here.
All right, last story. This is my guy. Actor Steven Seagal settles Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin with an extra I in it. I don't know how to pronounce it. Coin. ICO endorsement disclosure charges with SEC. So the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission.
I like the way you said it, though.
Coin. That one. Announced on Thursday that it has settled charges with action film actor Steven Seagal, who allegedly failed to disclose payments he received in connection to an initial coin offering, also known as an ICO. Seagal was the notable promoter of the cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. Hashtag B2G. I don't know where that comes from. In early 2018.
Sounds like a boy band.
Yeah, B2G. Boys to... I don't know what the G is.
Boys to guys.
Boys to guys. That's exactly what it is. Boys to guys.
That's another hashtag.
In early 2018, as CoinDesk reported at the time, Bitcoin's backers promised, quote, considerable profit from holding B2G in connection with the staking scheme. I don't like how they call it a scheme, first of all. Seagal's involvement as a promoter was said to end once the ICO was complete. The SEC's order finds that Seagal failed to disclose he was promised $250,000 in cash and $750,000 worth of B2G tokens in exchange for his promotion, which included posts on his public social media page encouraging people not to, quote, miss out on Bitcoin's 2 Gens ICO. Oh, so it's Bitcoin to Gen.
Bitcoin to Gen, not boys to guys.
I think it's boys to guys, though. I'm pretty sure it's boys to guys. ICO. And a press release titled Zen Master Steven Seagal has become the brand ambassador for Bitcoin to Gen, the agency said on Thursday. Per the order, published alongside the statement, the SEC considers the B2G token to be a security. According to the document, B2G's backers, quote, offered and sold tokens that were investment contracts and therefore securities pursuant to Section 2A1 of the Securities Act. B2G described B2G tokens as the, quote, next generation of Bitcoin. As part of the agreement, according to the SEC statements, Seagal did not confirm or deny SEC findings. Seagal, quote, agreed to pay $157,000 in disgorgement. Disgorgement, I feel, is anyways.
That's not engorgement.
Yeah, no, it's like when when you're excited and you want to get a quick sandwich before you get to the lovemaking, and you open the fridge, it's a little too cold, you get a little disgorgement.
Oh, that's really great. Jesus.
Which represent his actual promotional payment plus prejudgment interest and a $157,000 penalty. So penalties for Seagal. I'm not sure he has $157,000 to pay out. Were you a big Steven Seagal fan as a kid?
No.
I mean, Seagal, buddy, I think you should have probably transfer that to Bitcoin at worst case.
It also says here, Steven Seagal's next financial endeavor is backing the all-encompassing 12-member boy band Boys to Guys.
Boys to Guys. Word.
Who hit tours this summer. Coming to a theater near you.
Wow.
It's Boys to Guys.
Boys to Guys. I love it. That's fantastic. So, Steven Seagal has to pay the SEC $157,000, which you may or may not have. So, we might see a few shitty Steven Seagal movies come out in order to pay for that. So,
a few more shitty Steven Seagal movies.
Fudge. There have been some shitty Steven Seagal movies.
All right. That is going to do it for the news. We are headed into a draft. At the top of the show, Chamber and I were talking about some fun draft to do, and I said, March is kind of boring, and he said, well, it's no February, and so we decided we are going to draft the months of the year. Chamber, I will give you the first pick in the months of the year draft.
Wow. Okay. This is so we're gonna draft all of them. We're gonna do 6 each. Go back and forth. I'm gonna go with number 1 overall draft pick for the month.
So this draft. Is very subjective. So I feel like there's really not a 101.
I'm trying to think. I have one in my head. I'm gonna go with August.
Wow, I would not have picked August. Okay,
yeah, August. You're in the midst of summer. I think it's the best weather. I want to say, at least where I live. And I like summertime. I like summertime a lot. And I feel August is the best representation of summer in month form.
All right, I'm going with June.
Nothing wrong with June.
First pick, because it's the beginning of summer and I sweat when I peel an orange. So August is too hot for me, right? So I'm going with the mildest of the summer months.
You just want a little hint of summer is what you're saying.
Yeah. A little taste. Yeah. So I'm getting the first taste of summer. Not much going on in June. It's usually actually a pretty slow month, working wise. People are starting to take vacations. So, I'm thinking I'm a big June guy.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I'm going to go.
And now I normally this would not have been my first pick. It wouldn't be my first pick. I am just trying to gobble up at least one or two, like one of the summer months, because I felt like if I didn't, you would take them all, and I would be in trouble on the vote.
I like the summer, but in keeping with that train of thought, I'm gonna gobble up some other months here. I'm gonna go with October with my second pick. October. You're obviously getting into full fall, which is great. I like fall also, but you're getting into Halloween season, which is my favorite. A lot of new horror movies coming out. A lot of stuff happening on your subscription packages as far as scary stuff. So I like the weather. I like Halloween. I like scary stuff. October.
I'm going with September. Now, September. Great time of year. You're getting the tail end of the summer.
Yep.
So I'm bookending the summer months, really.
Yep. I like this.
So you're starting to get some fall. Not to mention NFL starts, college football in full swing. That's my jam right there. That is 100% my jam.
That's a good point.
100% my jam. So I'm going with September. Also now, my wife's birthday, our wedding anniversary. So lots of good stuff going on in September. Probably, so like that would have been my first choice, actually.
Okay.
If I wasn't trying to at least grab one summer month.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. Actually, October for me, also my wedding anniversary. I should probably mention that because in the event my wife listens to this episode, in the event that she gets this deep into this episode,
right.
Want to make sure we cover all the bases, and also when basketball starts for me is October. So, big fan of October. Next one, I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm taking it right now. I'm going with July because I also like July.
Damn it. I was going there if you didn't. So
I love July. July, again, work-wise, everybody's on holidays.
Yeah,
I don't have a lot going on. It's summer
here in the U.S. It's Independence Day. So
right, we have Canada Day.
Yeah, multiple weeks off at a time.
Right. No, it's a good time. It's my daughter's birth. Like, we have a big party with my mom's birthday's for I want to say the 1st of July. My daughter's is the 6th, and my sister's is like the 4th, I think. So we have big parties up at my mom's place. So yeah, July's a good time. It's a summertime, parties, smoking cigarettes. That's when I start smoking cigarettes again. Is July.
I feel like that's like the only thing you look forward to in your life
is
true. The time you start smoking cigarettes every 6 months.
So funny.
Like, I'm just picturing you with a calendar above your office desk, and it's just like you're Xing out the days with the one day.
Somebody offered me a cigarette while I was away for work, and I had to decline because it wasn't in my zone. It wasn't
not
in
your Q zone.
It was not.
Not in your Q zone. All right, my turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with March.
Good.
It is, that first taste of spring.
Yes.
A lot of times, you do run the risk of one more snowstorm, but I'm fine with that because I know that it's right around the corner is spring, right? So, for example, our whole week this week is going to be in the 50s. That's prime Bunchu weather. Like, yeah. I was meant for 50s to 60 degrees. Like, that's my running temperature. You know what I mean?
That's nice. That's nice.
So not only that, you got March Madness starting, full on college basketball swing, and that's one of my favorite times of the year. Every year, I take off the first and second day, the Thursday and Friday of the March Madness tournament, and either I go away with some friends or I just stay home, sit on the couch, watch beer, and fill out my brackets. So it's one of my favorite days of the 4 day stretches really of the year. Mm-hmm. So it's a big month, good month of March for Bunchy over here. So I'm going with March.
Interesting. See, I think I don't like March for exactly that reason. Not the March Madness stuff, but the weather. It wants to be spring, and then it will throw you some winter when you're least expecting it.
That's okay I don't like for me. That. I think the pros outweigh the cons, really.
That's fair.
So hold on, let's do a little recap at this point.
We're halfway through.
We're at the halfway point. You have August, October, July.
Buddy, that's a
strong start.
I mean, both really.
Strong start. I have June, September, and March.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right.
Okay. Next for me.
Wait, we forgot about St. Patrick's Day in March too.
Right,
great
that's
time
a good point.
of year. You
good
got
point.
all the great St. Patrick's festivities.
And are you Irish? Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm like half Irish. My last name is very, very Irish. Yeah.
Right.
I'm about half and half Italian.
It's Leprechaun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's exactly right. Seamus O'Leprechaun is my doc's name. I always joke that I eat like the Italian side and I drink like the Irish side. So.
Wow, that is a that is a mix for a good time.
Mick, exactly right. Exactly right.
So my turn here. I'm gonna go with May.
Okay.
May again, full spring. No fooling around. You're not getting snow you better not be getting snow in May. But full spring, and you get the little taste of summer. You get maybe you hit a patio at the end of May for the first time. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I'll be hitting a patio at the end at St. Patty's Day. Like we're not waiting that long. May's like full summer here.
In Canada, maybe you gotta wait till maybe you gotta wait till
May's like summer here. Yeah.
So I'm going with May. I know we have some crazy people here in Canada that'll whip out the shorts real quick. Like, March. If you're wearing shorts and it's not at least 70.
Wow.
75. I'm trying to do the calculation in my head.
I think I disagree on this one.
If you're wearing shorts, like I always say, if it's not at least 24 degrees Celsius, I think that works out to about 75. Fahrenheit. It's got to be at least 24 degrees Celsius before you're wearing shorts. Get out of my face. If it's room temperature and you're wearing shorts, get out of here.
No way. Oh, I disagree. Highly disagree.
I have a lot of these things.
Hot short takes.
Yeah, a lot of hot short takes.
All right, you've got May.
Yeah, I got May.
I'm going with December.
It was bound to happen. One of us was going to pick December.
Yeah, it's the most wonderful time of the year. You've got Christmas. Everybody's off for those like 2 weeks between Christmas and New Year's. You're spending time with your loved ones. You're getting a visit from Santa Claus. You're doing all of that stuff. And so, not to mention, I've obviously have a sports slant to this. You're getting into college football bowl season, also one of my favorite times of the year.
That's a good point.
NFL playoffs is about to happen. You're like, so all those games matter. Fantasy football playoffs are going on. Good time of year, December.
All right. Hey, no argument from me. I'm going to go with, we're getting in the nitty gritty. We got 2 more picks left. This is the last picks. I'm going with January.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. A couple reasons.
Otherwise known as the top.
Yeah. Exactly. The top of the year. The reason I'm going with January, obviously, it is the furthest time away from Christmas.
You hate Christmas, huh?
When it's over, I'm happy it's over. Put it that way. You don't have to visit family. You can just chill out. I'm also the month of January. I'm full smoking. So I'm smoking through the Christmas holidays, right until I come back from Las Vegas at the end of January. So big fan of January for my smoking.
Oh my God, we definitely have biases here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, I'm going with. Man, I'm surprised one of these months has made it so far, and I'm still not taking it.
I don't know which one it is. Like, there's 3 left, and I can only think of 1 month.
I had the foresight to write them all down.
No, I'm writing as I go.
I'm going with November.
Oh, November. I forgot that one. And
but
why November?
That's not the one I was saying. But I'm going to take November because, one, it's my birthday.
Oh.
So, yeah. So I have a birthday in November, which is always a good time. My wife usually does something pretty fun for us. So we're either usually taking a trip or something. So I like my birthday because, we usually go do something. Secondly, you have Thanksgiving here in the States.
Right. Yeah, we don't have that here in Canada. So November's kind of like
yours
a non-month.
is October, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay,
Not much
so that makes
happening.
much more sense why you grabbed October. Right,
yeah.
So, you got
because I want to spend time with my family. Right.
Yeah.
That's
right. Right. Which is why you hate Christmas. So you got Thanksgiving, you got my birthday, you got, again, also a sports time. You get the wrapping up the World Series, you got all 4 major sports going on actually at one time. So good time of the year there. And also, not the coldest, but you're starting to get that brisk cold.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There's definitely not snow on the ground consistently, I would say, for the most part in November.
So you might get some fallish type days. You might start to get the cold days, which is fine with me because, again, I run on Duncan, and 2, I run very hot. So
okay. So I'm going to go with February.
Oh, man, you really botched the back half of this draft, I think.
I'll tell you why.
I think you're going to get annihilated now. After all of this.
I'll tell you why. February is the shortest month of the year. And that's a good thing. It's the shittiest month, but it's also the shortest month. Shittiest weather-wise, at least. It's also my birthday in February.
Right, okay.
So, that's fine. I hate it, though. I hate my birthday, so. But it is also Black History Month. And, shout out to Black History Month.
All right.
Yeah, so, it's a shame that they have the shortest month. They should really have a 31-day month, I think. And
every 4 years, you get an extra day.
And every
it's
4
like a surprise treat. You know?
Exactly. So February,
right.
It has the dunk contest.
Valentine's Day, you're forgetting Valentine's Day.
Oh, right, Valentine's Day, the fake holiday. Yeah. So whatever, it's fine. February's fine. It's okay. It has my birthday. So.
President's Day in the U.S.
Martin Luther
King Day. Yep.
Yeah, it's got some things.
It's got some
things going for it. It's cold as shit, though. I mean, that at the end of the day.
Great candy month.
It is a great candy month. You're right.
Great candy month.
So, all right, that leaves you with who? I don't even know.
It leaves me with April.
April.
And April's a solid month. I can't believe April was the last pick in the draft. I didn't think April was going to get back to me. That's the one when I said when I had 3 left, I think I should take April, but I didn't. And I thought you were going to take it and I was going to be left with February. But I'm taking April.
I couldn't leave my birthday month all alone like that.
So April, I mean, there's not much to say about it. There's not a ton going on.
Was that maybe Easter? You might have Easter in April.
Yeah, you might have Easter. I think you have Easter this year.
I think you're right.
In April. Yeah, but not a ton going on from a holiday perspective. No. But you're starting to get that nice weather. So it's a good weather month.
Good weather month indeed.
Yes.
April showers.
Yeah, that's the problem. It rains a lot.
Bring May flowers. That's what they say.
That is. Yeah. And not the Mayflower. That's something different.
No, that's a completely different thing.
That's a boat, I think. All right. Wrapping it up here.
Yeah.
Chamber, you have January, February, May, July, August, and October.
Yeah.
I have March, April, June, September, November, December.
That's a good. I think yours is better than mine.
I think you had me in the first half of this draft, and I think you totally botched it.
We'll see. I went with things that I like. Like January is where I really messed up. Maybe February. I can't leave my birthday month. I have to draft my.
No, I think you lost the draft on January. Yeah, I think January probably should have been one of the last months.
Tobacco ruined my draft.
It ruins everything. Tobacco.
It sure does.
You know?
Sure does.
Well, so we'll see what the people say. I think it'll also be a contingent on where they live, right?
That is true.
How they vote on where they live, right? Like I think I'm gonna get a lot of the U.S. vote because I have really big U.S. holiday months, like
sure do.
Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we'll see. But Finland.
I got January. That's what is that? Chinese New Year? Hello.
I think it's all the New Year's.
That's a big win.
It's the New Year's.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. February, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what happens in the rest of the world with January and February. So,
but Finland, you might be getting something totally different.
There might be.
And we are the #1 podcast in Finland. By the way, that soundbite that you
climbing,
included.
Did you like that one?
Oh my God, I was dead. I literally was deceased. All right, we are right on time as always. That's gonna do it for us. Anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to say kudos to us for making a draft of the years of the month absolutely hilarious.
I mean, look, I think next time we should draft like some kind of like fictional characters. Oh no, I got it. I got our next draft.
All right.
Food fight items.
Oh. All right, I'm just gonna write that down in my notebook here.
Write it down. Items that you would bring, or best items to use in a food fight.
It's noted.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Check us out on all our normal social media platforms. Check us out on coinhq.tv. Check us out at coinhq_ on Twitter, and that's about it. Anything else?
No, that's everything. I'm exhausted now. I'm going to go back to bed.
I have to go work a full day.
Wow, that's too bad.
Doesn't that suck?
No, you gotta work from home more. You can just take a nap whenever you want.
Well, normally on Mondays I do, but I have like a meeting that's kind of local, so I have to do that today. So, but as our great friend Gilbert Gottfried once said, "Don't get wrecked," and that is a financial advice.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening. You can help support us by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and become a Rekt patron by signing up for a monthly tier on patreon.com. That's patreon.com/Rekt podcast. Don't get wrecked.